You're watching an America's Top 10 Christmas with your host, Kasem.
The song at number 2 in our special Christmas countdown has been recorded in more than 500 different versions. But the man who sang it first has the biggest version of them all. He's the most successful singing cowboy of all time. A man whose hits include such great standards as Yellow Rose of Texas, Tumblin' Tumbleweed, and Back in the Saddle Again, Gene Autrey. We spoke to Gene and asked him to tell us how songwriter Johnny Marks came to give him this classic Christmas song.
Johnny Marks in New York sent me a demo of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I played it 2 or 3 times and laid it over to the side and said, well, I'll hear it again. And I heard several other Christmas songs. And along about July or August, that's when they record most of the holiday songs or Christmas songs because they have to get their advertising out on them. Well, I had a session set up to do 4 songs here in the studio at Columbia Square. And my wife, Ina, said, you know, I think you ought to reconsider Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Said, there's something about that song that really gets to me. Said, everybody likes the underdog, and that line in there, they wouldn't let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Says it kind of makes me feel bad about him. And I thought, well, I'll take it down there. So I came down and I recorded 3 songs. Had one to go in the session. So I told Carl Cotner, I said, Carl, bring out Rudolph and let's try it and see what it is. So the band run over it 2 or 3 times, and I did it a couple of times, and I said, all right, let's make it. So I recorded it. And after I finished, why, the engineer came out and he said, Gene, you'll never make one better. Said, it's a good record. Said, I wouldn't make another take. I said, okay, if you like it, why, wrap it up. So they wrapped it up, and that was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
After Gene's big success with Rudolph, he ran into Bing Crosby, and they had a talk about that $1 million reindeer.
Well, I run into Bing Crosby. I was in Studio B, and he was in A over here at Columbia Square. And I had a break for about 10 minutes, and it just happened he had a break too, and I came out, and he was sitting outside smoking a pipe, and he said, say, he said, I understand that Rudolph has turned out to be quite a hit for you. I said, well, it looks like it is going to be a big hit. He said, well, shake hands with the guy that turned it down.
And as sung by Gene Autrey, here's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you'll go down in history. Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you'll go down in history.
In all its versions, that song has sold more than 100 million records. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, performed here by a man who's become a legend, Gene Autrey, the man who first introduced the song to the world.